What is the historical significance of Fort Sumter? If you're curious about the American Civil War, you might have heard of a place called Fort Sumter. But what makes this fort so important? Let's take a closer look. Fort Sumter is located in Charleston Harbor, South Carolina, and its history dates back to the 1820s. The U.S. government started building it in 1829 as part of the third system of fortifications to protect American harbors from naval attacks. This fort was named after Thomas Sumter, a hero from the Revolutionary War. The significance of Fort Sumter really comes into play with the start of the American Civil War. On April 12, 1861, Confederate forces fired on the Union garrison at Fort Sumter, marking the first military action of the Civil War. This event was a culmination of rising tensions between the North and South. Before the war, Fort Sumter was a symbol of national sovereignty for the North and a symbol of state sovereignty for the South. When Abraham Lincoln became president, he faced a critical decision, whether to resupply the fort or abandon it. Lincoln decided to send supply ships, which led to an ultimatum from the Confederate government demanding the immediate evacuation of the fort. Major Robert Anderson, the Union commander, refused to leave, and the Confederates opened fire. The bombardment lasted for 34 hours, and Major Anderson eventually surrendered. This event sparked widespread support for further military action on both sides. Lincoln called for 75,000 volunteers to suppress the rebellion, leading to more Southern states seceding and joining the Confederacy. Throughout the war, Fort Sumter remained a key target. The Union laid siege to Charleston and bombarded the fort extensively, reducing its brick walls to rubble. However, the rubble actually made the fort stronger, turning it into a massive earthwork. Despite several attempts, the Union was unable to retake the fort until the Confederates evacuated it in February 1865 as General William T. Sherman's forces approached. On April 14, 1865, just 4 years after the initial surrender, Major General Robert Anderson returned to Fort Sumter to raise the U.S. flag again in a ceremony marking the end of the war. This event was overshadowed by the assassination of President Lincoln, which occurred on the same evening. In summary, Fort Sumter's historical significance lies in its role as the site where the American Civil War began, its symbolic value for both the Union and Confederacy, and its ongoing importance throughout the conflict. It stands as a powerful reminder of the divisions and conflicts that shaped the United States during one of its most tumultuous periods.